Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia and welcome back to another episode of Deck Showcase. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, Deck Showcase is a weekly series for the upcoming collectible card game Total War Elysium, where I will be showcasing one of my decks. This week, we'll be taking a look at a deck for King Priam called the Reverse Trojan Horse. Now, we are using a legendary card called Fall of Troy here, so there's a lot of irony involved as we are playing this on King Priam, who is the king of the city of Troy. And we're going to utilize the very weapon that defeated this city, the Trojan Horse, in this deck to wipe out our enemies. It's a very singular focused deck. I wouldn't call it very competitive, but it is definitely very fun. There is one minor issue I have to clarify before we dive into what the actual deck is made of, and that is the card Fall of Troy, which summons the Trojan Horse. It's still a bit buggy right now in closed beta, and often we'll see error or some sort of freeze in the game, so sometimes the game will not resolve when you use Fall of Troy, but hopefully we won't run into too many of that situation, and when it does work, it will work magically and you have a very nice turn in the tide of the battle, and it will be a very fun deck to play. Of course, there is no plan B for this deck, so if your Fall of Troy does not work, maybe the enemy has some card like Cowardice to return the card back to their hand, or if they have a board clear of their own that they save to use after you use your Fall of Troy, then you're out of luck. But hopefully we won't run into that situation, and we're going to jump into game where we will take a look at this deck in action. So let's hop into a game. Alright, so let's queue up here with King Priam. We have previously showcased King Priam and he has two unique playstyles. One, he has no attack and 15 health, so very weak and vulnerable leader. But he does have a few unique ability in that his signature card gives a +2/+2 boost to any target with the drawback of stunning the target. And you can also add one of your kids during each daybreak, so we do have False Dawn in the deck, so we can trigger this ourselves. But let's queue up and see how this deck works.
Hold nothing back.
Oh, we found someone very quickly. Let's see who we get. Now preferably, this deck worked very well against early pressure decks because you can hold out very easily in the beginning. Guthrum could be early pressure, could also be control. We'll see what type of deck he runs with it. But the idea here is we definitely want to take a card called Fall of Troy. It's a legendary card. It summons the Trojan Horse on the enemy side, and when the Trojan Horse is destroyed, everything in your hand is deployed. So that is our goal. And to trigger it, we're going to use the Pyrrhic Victory card. And the things we want to get played is Cataphracts, General's Bodyguard, Citadel of Troy if possible, Silk Road if possible. But to survive the early game, we're going to be taking Bodyguard, Red Harbinger for a late game, Conceal to protect ourselves, Menace to draw cards, and Out of Position to draw cards. We'll be getting the buildings, the legendary buildings, and the Aide-de-Camp in the next day. This combo won't activate before turn 6, so we're just gonna stall in the beginning. And stalling is what King Priam is good at. So doesn't matter what we draw, every single turn, play Desperate Defense on King Priam to keep him alive. You don't need to move him to the front. There is nothing we really want to play, except for potentially Border Guard if we draw it. So if we don't draw it on 2 or 3, I think we can just... I mean, in this case he doesn't have any units, no range. If it's Napoleon, you want to hide in the back, but for this, we might as well go face him, stun ourselves, and just see if he wants to hit us. Most experienced players will not trade because the 2 health you get is free health. Unless they can do more than 2 damage to you, they're just trading for nothing because those 2 will go away and will still be full health. So I'm assuming since he is rank Wolf, he played the game for at least a fair bit. Therefore, he's probably not going to trade into us. Okay, Viking Scout is strong. Now, there's a couple of reasons why we picked the General Bodyguard and the Cataphracts as our units. So, before we talk about that, we have the core of our combo in our hand. These 2 cards are our combo cards. We will just patiently use Desperate Defense. He still can't trade into us. As long as they can't deal more than 2 damage, they can't do anything to us. Now, of course, he could boost it with his signature card, and that would actually be a decent trade, because then he'll get the unit back during the next day. But we're just going to end and go back to talking about why we are taking General's Bodyguard and Cataphract. One, they're high cost and very useful units because they have flanking as a cavalry unit. And two, General Bodyguard can be played even in the late game when you don't have your Fall of Troy, as in you already utilized it, because it does decrease for each unit the enemy have. So if they have a really developed board, you could even play this in an emergency for free. But in this case, it looks like he might be actually trading now that he has 2 damage. He could deal a grand total of 1 damage if he trade, and we trade back 4 damage. Because 2 will go into him, 2 will go into him. I don't think it's a good trade for him. Hopefully he agrees with me. Alright, he does not trade, which is probably the wise thing to do. So we do pick up our Border Guard, which is used to slow down the enemy. And that's exactly what we're going to do. It's okay if it dies. It's just there to stall. And we're still going to protect our leader. Now, we could invest a Conceal on her just because, or actually, I'm assuming this is a her. It could be a guy for all we know. Because we're assuming that our leader is relatively safe, given that we haven't taken any damage and we're already about a day in. But just to be safe, I think we can just let her die if he has some extra damage from hand, and it doesn't matter. We're not really hoping to slow him down by too much. He's gonna give it a boost, take the trade, and return the card to the hand. That's not that good, actually. He should have done it with this unit. He just want to kill it, which is good. Because then he wasted this bonus on it, as well as 1 supply here and 2 supply here. So he's going to trade. Interesting. He decides to trade now for 2 damage. Oh, for 4 damage. Might as well trade for 5. He already committed there. There we go. Alright, no problem. There is absolutely no rush to play Fall of Troy. You want to build up a hand because you want to get all these cards onto the field. So on day 2, you want to take all those cards. You want to take Aide-de-Camp as well because you need that heal. And False Dawn to make sure you trigger that heal. And the very worst, False Dawn's worth 1 of the kids. We get Conceal, we get Menace, we get Out of Position. These are just for card draws. That's for protection. And in this situation, maybe we don't need it because we already have our old one. And we might as well get Trojan Wall for more things to be played on the field. Let's end. Now, all the kids are very good to get. Cassandra here is probably one of the better ones because we can get more cards into our hand. So what we're going to do here is just play her in the back and also boost ourselves for defense. He doesn't have anything on the board worth us playing out of position. We'll wait till he develops it a bit more. And we're just in stalling mode now. I wouldn't even mind to stall till 10 supplies if we can keep our general safe, because then we can play both in the same turn to make sure there is no counterplay. And the best time to play this combo is when they have emptied their hand, because then you know for sure they have no counterplay left in their own hand. Interesting. They have a very interesting deck. It feels like one of those decks that wants to do too much, but I'm not here to judge. Alright, you can't trade anymore, that's fine. He's done. It does prevent us from using out of position because they're not on the same roll, which is a bit sad. And he can get 3 damage on us just by moving it, which is not how we want to trade. Alright, we're going to move him back. I'm going to move the Dread Harbinger to the front, and I'm going to still boost the leader. No point to play Conceal, because that damage is randomly dealt, so even if we're concealed, he can still shoot us. We're just going to pass our turn. We know he has a Viking Scout, because he returned it. He has one more turn. in this day. So I'm thinking whether he wants to boost this anymore. If he boosts it to 4 and then he can boost it to 5 next turn and then have it bounce back. Not the worst play, because that's potentially 9 damage, assuming I can't kill it. But right now 3, you know, he feels like it's exactly how much damage he needs, so he might not boost it. Play more of the other card. That's what we need to see. We need to see him empty his hand. Oh, another boost card. Okay, that's the one he took on the second day. That's not gonna really help him because he still can't clear this. He could trade both and then bounce him for 3 damage on him, but that's really only 1 damage on him, and I'm still getting 4 damage trade back. So I think I'm still winning this trade here. What's he saving the 3 supply for? Why not boost him? Okay, so he's hoping to trade 7 damage, so 5 damage into us. We'll still be a 7. Ah, a boost here. Okay, so he's gonna knock us into last gasp, which is definitely very strong, but it allows us to draw cards, which is actually good. There we go. So now we're really ready to play our combo. And we want to watch out because we don't want to burn our Aide-de-Camp. So this would be a perfect time to play this. Draw a card. We're still a little bit overboard with how many cards we have. He might have direct damage. We don't have aid. We should try to draw aid because that way we can heal up to full. We have 5 cards left. I have another stall next turn. We're just going to boost him in case he has some sort of about phase to make him move. And at the same time, in case he has another fast unit, we are going to play Conceal also to minimize how many cards in our hand because I don't want to overdraw and burn a card that we need. And we can just end turn here. I'm going to guess he doesn't have any about face in his deck, but he might have another the well drill card to move this and boost it by +1/+1. That could be very annoying. The card he has here is a Viking Scout. We know this because he moved it back. I don't know what else he drew. Apparently it's not worth playing. Oh, he wants to return that to his hand? Why though? To heal it? But you have a boost on it. Right. Might as well return this. Then you can boost something else. Ah, he played everything. Okay, so he's pretty committed. Now we can get ready for our combo. He didn't pull the trigger. Okay. We have our aid, so we can get our heal. Now the problem with us getting our heal is we're currently at 7 supply. So if we heal this turn, the problem is we can't play the stun, which is actually pretty devastating. So I think we'll rather play the stun. And we have to be really careful with Trojan Horse because he can boost it and return it to his hand, which is a rather nice counter to our strategy here. What we're going to do is first force him to be stunned. That's obviously very important. Ooh, False Dawn. Okay, so we're still at max hand, but we have the most important card in already. It doesn't matter if you have fast unit anymore because he can't fit any unit onto the front line. Which makes me want to start our combo. Let's do it. He also has no card. So we play Fall of Troy. This places the Trojan Horse on the back line. And we're gonna end, leaving us exposed, but the only thing he can do is pillage, because he really can't do damage. Well drilled, move him 4 damage, we'll take that. We have the False Dawn plus aid, we should be safe. Let's end. Another kid. Now what we're gonna do is take the Dread Host, take Demolition, take the good cards again. We're not going to draw Funeral Game just yet. Stall card, Conceal, draw cards, another False Dawn for more kids. Well, actually we don't need that right now. I think we might need a secondary board clear just in case. Let's do that. The Blot Out the Sun plus no quarter is an excellent combo. And we're ready to unleash our Trojan Horse. The second this card dies, the enemy, in this case us because it's on their board, will deploy everything in their hand. Now event card does not count, only structures and unit. So this will be play for free, this will be play for free, and when the Silk Road is play for free, any additional card you play gives you a supply. So then we get a refresh of supply basically, and we're able to still use many of our event card, even if we used most of our supplies already on the Pyrrhic Victory, which we will. He's gonna boost it. Doesn't do him any good at this point though, if he can't move it. He can't move it. Alright, so he still has a card in hand, which is not optimum, but we're gonna do it. Here comes the Pyrrhic Victory. And it wipes everything out, including the Trojan Horse, unleashing our entire hand. And you can see the supply is being maintained because the Silk Road is being played. And that's perfect. And because Aide is now on the field, we'll simply false dawn. And we'll be full healed. And to make sure we are... And we get one of our kids. Let's play him. And each card we play will add another supply. Let's see. Let's knock him to the back. Draw a card. Protect our leader, I guess, in this case. There's really no one else I really need to protect. I don't want anyone stunned next turn. So, King Priam, 217 once again. And now the only thing we're really scared of is the combo using Regime Change, which kills structures and units, because even if he had a Pyrrhic Victory to respawn, our structures will still be safe. Alright, 5 damage. What do you want to kill? Can't kill anything. You sure you want to kill Aide? You could use the healing too. So I think it's not a bad choice, but probably trying to kill Silk Road might be the best move. Ah, it's too late. So I want to open up a space on the front row. I could move him back, but I want to sacrifice him, to be honest, because I don't want to heal him next turn. We already got the heal that we want. I'd rather trade this into him. I'm going to do this trade right here. Pop this. Pop this. Pop him. We're going to keep him stunned. I'm not going to play the Dread Host. It's just overkill. In case he board clears us, we'll lose everything. So we don't want that. We'll move our Sun up. And we'll just keep boosting our general. Let's ping the cavalry, because why not? And we're good to go. Let's end turn. It doesn't move, but he boosts us. Why don't he boost your own? Ah, he didn't draw anything good, he's giving up. That's fair. He should have boosted like this and this to move them back, or even boost him, so he can't suicide next turn. Then he gets to heal during the end turn as well. But it's a little too late. We're gonna pull his general forward, smash him with a Cataphract, and we win. Success. Alright, let's try it again to see if we can pull off this combo multiple times. Let's queue up again. Alrighty, we found someone. Let's see what deck we get this time. Oh, is it the same Guthrum? Oh, it might be the same Guthrum. Now that's a bit unfortunate. We're gonna surrender to him. We'll queue up for someone else. He can have the win. Let's go again.
Foes, beware.
Oh, please don't be the same player. We find someone so fast. Okay, we have a different deck. And we play very well into Sun Ren because we featured her in our last week's showcase, and it was called Your Units Are Mine. And if you notice anything about this deck, we don't play any units. The only thing we play is Bodyguard, which has 3 health, which is very hard for her to kill. So same setup, Fall of Troy is very important, Pyrrhic Victory is very important for this combo. These 2 units are very important because we want to summon something. And then out of position help us get a draw, Menace help us get a draw, Conceal saves us, and then Bodyguard and Dread Harbinger for some early game pressure. And long-term benefits of slowing down the enemy deck and giving us a very strong unit in the late game. Okay, so if I think about it, she could have range units. A lot of Sun Ren deck runs crossbowmen. So I don't know if we should move up. Okay, so she switched to the Blade. Blade is her next play. Ah, so we do have to move up because Bodyguard's coming next turn. Or maybe 2 turns, because I want to boost every turn. So Draw Blade is useless on us at this point. Now this is a relatively newer player. I mean, it's only 1 rank difference from who we just played. I'm gonna assume... Okay, so they have long range. That's rather annoying. Oh, a retreat. Exposing the long range unit? That makes no sense. So the long range unit can't do enough damage to actually hurt us, and we're not gonna invest in this. The point is not to, win any board control early on. The whole idea is to protect King Priam. Take no damage. Therefore, we want to keep boost him every turn. So if you see this on curve, it's actually off curve. If it costs 2, you can only play it on 3. If it costs 3, you can only play it on 4. Because Desperate Defense is reserved for King Priam every single turn. No exceptions. You don't want to get smacked by any fast damage. If they play War Dog this turn, you don't want to take those 3 damage. Ooh. That is strong. That is actually very strong. That doesn't do anything. Unless you do more than 2 damage, it's just a scratch. Okay, so now we can play Bodyguard. But he's probably going to play some sort of event or some sort of mandate boost so everything gets more action. That's fine. Let's just end turn. I think he's going to try to find a way to kill this. She's still on Draw Blade, so she can't actually shoot him. Because double action means there's 2 damage from Archer, and then she can't pull out a bow and kill him. So that's fine. And we have a small problem. We haven't drew Pyrrhic Victory yet, and we're about to hit Daybreak, so Pyrrhic Victory is going to be in one of these 3 cards, mixed in with the 9 that we're about to get. We do have potentially up to 4 draw cards, because we're going to be taking another Menace, and then if we get Cassandra, we get another draw card. But we're not guaranteed to get Cassandra. So, let's see what happens. Oh, he spent 2 on that? Okay, so no boost, no extra actions. I'm willing to take the trade if he wants, because then we deal... Okay, so he's just trying to take out our unit, which is totally fine. Trade? No? Oh, that's a silly idea. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. Okay, good. Alright, so we're at 4. Okay, we didn't get Cassandra, so we don't get draw cards. I don't think we need aid this time. Draw cards is very useful. We want our legendary buildings, we want more of our units. I'll take a Trojan Wall as well. We haven't used our Conceal yet, so that's pretty safe. 2 cards. I might get the board clear. Because we could stall a little bit. Let's do it. Let's get the board clear. Okay, so that's gonna work. The problem here is this can shoot our general and we'll lose 1 health. Or we just play this with this and you have a similar effect. Of course we don't get the draw, but we can do this next turn when we're more on curve. Now she could draw blade, kill it, summon a Sun Attendant, but we'll stun everything, which I feel like it's a good play, and then we can stun everything again next turn, keeping them stunned, which keeps us pretty safe. Just kill this. He has 2 damage right here. Oh, it froze. We ended the turn, and he never got the supplies. That's weird. We didn't even play Fall of Troy. That's the card that usually freezes the game. That's a bit unfortunate. Well, good game. We'll try again. Alright, didn't get to really showcase that one. Let's hopefully we get a better match here. That is the one drawback of playing this deck. Just to accurately showcase it, we're not even going to cut these out because Fall of Troy does tend to trigger a lot of freezes. There's a lot of cards that's really complex currently in the closed beta that will cause some freezing issues, and Fall of Troy is definitely one of those cards, but when it works, it's magic. So let's see who we can find here. Alrighty, let's see who we have. Oh, Sun Ren again. Okay, so we do get to complete our matchup, hopefully without bug this time. We know she runs Archer and Pearl Dragons. So same setup will be fine. I think we don't need to modify anything here. I won't even move up this time. Okay, Horse Scout start, that's strong. No, what is this? Slinger start too? Very strong, but that's just a wasted damage. Alright, they can barely scratch us. They can do 1 damage per turn by trading the Horse Scout. It's a very early aggression deck. I guess this would be a decent showcase of how we can withstand it. Oh wow, a lot of range. So we have 2 more draws, and we can play this on this turn, so we get 3 more draws. We got 1 piece. We can get 2 more of these cards. Alright, we lost 1 health, you can see here, but we dealt back 4 damage. So, pretty good trade in my book. Ideally, Pyrrhic Victory comes up. If not, we'll try to Menace it out. Or else it's going to be part of the 2 cards that joins the rest of our reserves, and it's going to be a lot harder to draw it out, and we have to stall for a lot longer. Ooh, Horse Archer. Fancy. Okay, 3 damage done. Border guard. So we do want the draw. What I'm going to do is push him back so he can't deal damage to us this turn. Because he's dealing free damage. We didn't get it. So it's still part of the deck. We have to do some digging here. It's also with Conceal. Okay. So with that knowledge in mind, we also didn't get Cassandra. We're going to take our legendary buildings and our units. We can take No Quarter plus Blot Out the Sun, because that combo can also help us kill the Trojan Horse. So it's not the only thing we can do. Now in this case, I am a little scared of our health. We don't go last, so if we want to take aid, we probably have to take both. And I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to gamble here. Actually, we'll take Conceal. Yeah, I think we'll do this. More card draws, and just try to survive for 3 more turns. Because I'm going to expect this to move back, this to move up, shoot me. Oh dear, Pro Dragons. What's a 1 cost card? Okay, so you can't boost it. This is very awkward, because I would like this to be on the front when I play this, but he's on the back. And to make matters worse, if he can boost him, then he can move twice. I could just stun the back, because these have to trade very poorly into us, where they will actually do more damage, especially with more action. We can't get the card we want. That's a big deal. Well, this is going to happen, so we have to survive through this. We have 2 Conceal in here. 1 Pyrrhic Victory and Blot Out the Sun. Those are all useful cards. No Quarters. Silk Road. Another Cataphracts. Oh, he stuns us. Why? We're already stunned. He should stun him. He should saved it to stun him, to give everything more action later on. Oh, he's gonna kill himself? Wow, that is a bad trade. That's such a great card. Gonna last gas us? Okay. Help us draw cards. There we go. We still didn't get the one we want. We didn't even get a Conceal. Okay, we're at max hand size as well, so we gotta be very careful here. Now, what will really hurt us next turn? We can't really protect us from any of those damages, so we might as well protect ourselves from this damage. Conceal? We get Blot. Well, we could Blot into a No Quarters next turn. That could work, and also it will prevent us from overdrawing. So I think what we're gonna do is boost ourselves, then into the Blot. And we still have 1 supply. I will play the Sun. It'll be rather annoying for her to deal with it. And RNG can protect us, perhaps. They're still out of position. 2 Conceals, 1 Pyrrhic Victory. What else do we have in there? Those are 4 cards. We drew the Cataphract. There's a Silk Road. So that's the 5 card that's left. 4 of them are very useful to us. Please hit our Sun. Oh, come on. Oh? Getting scared? You're gonna hit her with the... He's stunned. Why are you scared? Oh, not what we're looking for, but we can draw more cards with it. And we're about to hit the Daybreak, which means it's going to get buried in the new set of reserves, which is just terrible. So the good news here is we can play it. The bad news, if we play it, we can't play this. Alright, this is not the time to be shy here, because stalling isn't going to get us anywhere. We're going to play it. And it's another body to potentially absorb this. He could potentially RNG really, really well into a trample, bounce this, 2 damage on us, and we just die. But we're going to take that gamble because I want to play this now. Okay. There we go. Our son took the damage for us. She has a bow, so they can get a Sword Attendant from this. Not the biggest deal. Okay, let's see what we can do here. That is a good sun to pick up. We're gonna definitely take Aid with False Dawn, so we can play it when we get both, or just utilize it on the last turn. We could get Demolition to blow up our Silk Road. I'd rather not, though. We'll do Out of Position. We have a No Quarter, so I don't want to get another one. Blot Out the Sun, Conceal, Menace for a draw. More of these units. And at this point, maybe a board clear is good, but I'm gonna go with Trojan Wall. We could also Funeral Game for the draw 2, but we need to be heroic. And right now we have a structure in the front. I don't want to move the general to the front, so that's not gonna work. 2 cards, don't burn it. Oh, we burned it. Okay, it's not over. We just block left and also block right while stalling. Now we could play maybe another unit first. We could kill both of these with this. But then what will take care of that? That's the problem. So we'll save it for next turn. Alright, we're just going to do this for sure. And then every card we play gets us a supply back, so that's what that card is for. I'm going to anticipate that we're going to get Pyrrhic next turn. We're just going to gamble. And then we can obviously play some of our cheap General's Bodyguard right away. So I'm going to play this in the front. Range can't hit it, and it's a very nice body. And we still have 2 left to protect the left flank, as the flanking cavalry can only hit the left and the right. And we play that last because it'll make everything else expensive. Let's end. Oh gosh, that's not a good sign. And after that 20% hit, what else we got? But in theory, that was a free hit because we had the +2 boost. We were at 4. So if he doesn't hit us anymore, well, he could, but if he doesn't hit us anymore, we don't actually lose any health. Oh, he moves it to the front. Wait, what's he doing? Camouflage, okay. This is when we need to draw Blot Out the Sun, because then we can kill the front line. Switching to a bow. Move up, move up. He's trying to shoot our... He should go move up. He's going to try to set up the bow next turn. Or not. Timed out? Can't decide what to do. We got to Conceal. Not the worst card, but it doesn't save us from this. Now we get 2 Conceal. Great. This is very awkward. What do we want to do here? We want to protect him from random damage. We can Conceal into the Citadel. That's a valid play. We could punch it, no quarter, get all these units onto the field, then Conceal, and then just trade like crazy next turn. Let's do it. And all these very expensive units that we've been saving all pops onto the field. We still have 2 Conceal in hand. We get a bunch of supply back. Save our leader. And I don't want this to die, so let's save it. It's very helpful to draw 2 cards and get supply back. And we get the victory. There we go. Alright. We finished the little mission. Just take that gold and queue up for another round.
Hold nothing back.
Let's see who we can find this time. Alrighty. We got a Lagertha. So, definitely early aggression. Let's see how we survive this one. Now, we are going... Okay, so we're not going to get the last day break on the next turn. So, the aid combo has to be a little bit more complex. Hopefully, we get better luck with our draws. Same idea. I don't think we need to change anything up. We still want these units. See, sometime you might want to consider maybe not taking the Cataphracts and go for Blot, especially against a Lagertha who might want to keep a lot of raid units. But generally, I think Priam does a pretty good job of protecting himself while dishing out damage back because of the +2 damage. So because we do have Bodyguard, I am going to go in the front. And plus, Lagertha doesn't tend to have a lot of range units. Not many Lagertha run... I mean, I guess people do run Viking Hunters, but it's not a day 1 type of killer. You know, it's not going to destroy us right now. Unfortunately, there's nothing to splash. This time we have Pyrrhic, but no Fall of Troy yet. And no card draw here, but potentially if we get Menace next turn, or even this turn, we can play it during this day. Okay, Thrall is going to boost everything, but still not going to do much. That's a bad trade. Okay, another new player, let's just say that. We'll take the boost, we'll take 2 damage. And we'll play the Bodyguard to slow it down. Lagertha deck would hate this because they want to empty their hand. Now, I could also assume they're thinking next level and assume that since we're playing Priam, we're most likely going to play Aide-de-Camp. So if Lagertha get injured, she'll heal back up. Ooh, that is a counterplay to Bodyguard. All units cost 2 less for her. That is very interesting. We definitely need to draw... Okay, we didn't draw it. I'm gonna move her back. We still didn't draw it. That's very unfortunate. Alright. Now it's within these two cards. It's out of position plus Fall of Troy. Cassandra? There we go. That's who we want to see. Our Oracle of a Daughter. Now let's take these legendary buildings. I don't think I need to take heal. I'm pretty confident we're nowhere close to getting damaged. And we'll take another Conceal just in case. Or not. Yeah, or not. Let's take the building and the board clear. Let's do that instead. Or I can take another Border Guard. Double down on the Stone Bridge counter. But it's only going to punish us. Everything's going to cost more for us. But the key here is our combo is not to play any units. It's to play the event cards to summon everything. So it doesn't really matter. Oh, wow. Except for nothing is going to survive damage, though. Everything's 2 health. Interesting. Alright, let's draw some cards. Cassandra allows to draw a card at end of every turn. Still not getting what we need. It would be funny if we blot out the sun, boost these units way up. Very excited Lagertha, and then no quarter that line. Stray Arrow would be a good play. Oh, even better. Wait, he took Volley of Arrow on day 1? Like, the position of it in his hand means he had it since day 1. That's a very aggressive play. He gets a raid stack. That's fine. We'll keep stalling. We don't get to draw any more cards, which is a little bit sad. I could play this, because we do want to bring it into our deck. The Dread Host. He gets a splash on it if he sacrifices this, gets him more raid stack, which means he can use this and kill our units, which is kind of the goal here anyway, so go for it. Double Stonebridge. Okay. Play out your entire hand. Just unleash, unleash. Oh. That's a good way to trigger Religious Fanatic. Why not move it first and then do Shield Wall if you're gonna move? Kind of already late for that move. Then he would have got the shield as well. Anyhow, all good. Still not getting our card. That seems to be the trend here. We'll just defensive up. See, the thing with shield is you have to take damage apparently for this. So the best card he can draw is Blot Out the Sun and blot out everything, kill our unit, damage everything. These become insanely strong. They should move to the front. That would help him a lot more. Technically we can play structures because Pyrrhic Victory doesn't wipe out structures, so we can actually use the Trojan Wall. And since we have a ton of supply, we might as well. And we can put some pressure. We can snipe some of these shields off and kill off some units. Okay, first strike. Oh, he's gonna keep the raid. That's pretty smart actually. This is punishing us way more than her. And then just everyone slam us. Not a lot of damage. It'll be a 9. Oh, greedy. Wants the boost next turn. Oh, only deal a little bit of damage to us. Okay. So Dread Host would be a great card. Drawing cards would be great. This is our time to get the heal. Conceal might be overkill. Let's grab these. And then we're going to take the draw. We could also take Demolition now that this is on the board. And we'll take a... Oh, we don't have another one. Which one don't we want? I guess we don't need another wall. Alright, we can stall for a turn. We'll move back this turn, send out our son to die. And since he's the only thing they can actually attack, might as well make them pay the heavy price. Trade multiple units into that. And we're gonna snipe her, just because I don't know if we actually need to heal. Alright, we're good. And we know we're safe, because the moment this dies, everything's stunned. He's going to trade one of the ships into it to draw a card. That's pretty smart. You get a boost attack twice if you can play the card. Play it, and Lagertha goes to 4. Ooh. Okay, another raid stack. Very greedy player. Alright, we get a bunch of cards, none that are useful. How do we want to approach this? I could try to get another kid, hope for Cassandra. We don't really need to hope for a heal combo, because if we get it in the next 2 turns, we can survive with last gasp to heal up on the last turn. Alright, fingers crossed, right kid, Cassandra? Ah, not the one we want to see. Okay, we'll go up there to take a beating. I'm not going to hit anything, because whatever we hit, just going to boost these 2 boys. Yeah, I think we're good to go. We could play him. It's pretty cheap, given how many units he has on the board. And none of them can trade evenly into him. Let's do it. Let's give him a little pressure. There we go. Okay, he's going to sacrifice those 2 to kill our general's bodyguard, I guess. Oh, he has this too. Okay, plenty of damage on us. Maybe knock us into last gasp so we can draw 2 cards. That would be pretty helpful, actually. He doesn't want to trade. Okay, he trades that because Religious Fanatic get boosted. Now I can snipe it with my wall. He's very much treasuring his units a little bit too much. So, no need to be kind. He doesn't have any sort of hand. This is our moment. Kaboom. And we froze. Yep, this is what happens. I warned you guys. This card is very buggy. But you could imagine what would happen if it worked. We would have Cataphracts, Citadel of Troy, Dread Host, our dear son Diaphobius, and we also get a Conceal to protect ourselves, and we'll be able to turn the tide of battle because she has no hand and she'll get crushed. So that's kind of the showcase. Full of bugs, but a very interesting tactic. And we can we end turn here? We actually can. It's really weird, but Anyhow, we'll surrender, give them the win. This is one of those deck showcases where it's not a competitive deck, but it's a very interesting idea, and I hope you guys can enjoy this. Of course, if they hotfix this in the future, where it will work more consistently, right now I want to say it's about 50-50. I think today we had about 4 showcases, 2 of them froze, 2 of them worked, so that's about right. Of course, you don't have to be the one surrendering. You can wait them out to let them surrender. The ranking system right now doesn't mean much, so don't have to take it too much to heart. This is a closed beta after all, and this is one of those cards that will eventually get fixed. It has been out for about 2 patches and we're still having a little bit of issue, but the idea is there. I think this deck works very well. Now, of course, the counter to this deck is you can either use cards like Cowardice, where you bounce the Trojan Horse back into your hand, therefore eliminating the possibility of this combo. Now, of course, to counter that, if you notice the enemy have Cowardice, as in they play it before you play Fall of Troy, then you will wait till you have 10 supplies, which is what we had, to play Fall of Troy and Pyrrhic Victory on the same turn. Other ways to combo this or to counter this is to have your own Pyrrhic Victory, or in case you don't have a legendary card, which is totally fair, you can go for Blot Out the Sun plus no quarters, or in terms of timeless combo, you're looking for the 6 cost Regime Change, which I think is epic. No, it's just rare. So 1 common, 1 rare card. This will wipe everything out, so it kind of resets the board once again after Pyrrhic, and you have the upper hand then, because you know that as one of the Fall of Troy player, you emptied everything when the Trojan Horse died, so you have nothing left in your hand, and you could use Regime Change to reset the board once again in your favor. Of course, you probably have no cards either when you decided to get triggered by Trojan Horse, and King Priam is probably the perfect candidate for this combo out of all the Troy generals, because he has ability to gain free cards every daybreak. So even if you combo falls short and your board got wiped afterward, you still have access to cards like Harbinger, which summons Dread Host for future turns or future days, Falls Dawn to get more kids, Conceal to outlast, and you still have access to cards like Funeral Games, which will give you 2 very strong Chariot unit and ability to draw more cards to sustain the late game. So it's not like if you get wiped, it's over. There's still ways to continue the game and chances for you to win. So I feel like it's a pretty competitive deck without the bugs. And with the bugs, it's kind of hard to be competitive when you have to surrender every other game. But still a very fun deck. Hope you guys enjoy this one, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye!